in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
You guys having a good day? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, Your Black World in the Black Business School. And I want to say what's up to everybody. And I am here to share a thought with you guys that I had in the car. Today I went out. Alicia and I went to Chicago. We got a rental property down there, and so we decided to go check it out. And we were glad to get out of the house. It was really cool. Life's getting back to normal. It seems like here in Chicago, where stuff was shut down pretty bad. But here's what I wanted to kind of share, talk about a little bit. We've been really paying very close attention to everything that's been going on with the lockdown and the pandemic or the plandemic or whatever you want to call it. And it's really interesting if you're an open-minded thinker and you're really sort of looking at what's popping off and what's going on and what makes sense and what doesn't. It's really interesting. Now, if you're a follower, if you just follow whatever politicians tell you, then I'm not the guy for you. I'm probably going to say something that's going to confuse you or throw you off. But if you're really trying to understand things and get things that make sense, I just want to kind of do an outward kind of open thought process with this. And I hope we can have this conversation and still love each other at the end of the day. Because, white folks are fighting, right? Like, they got the people out there with the guns, storming the Capitol, and the other white people saying that if you go out on your front porch, you're going to die. All these are games. All these are fucking games. You're not going to fucking die if you go on your goddamn front porch. So if you think that that's true, I can't help you, because that means you need a therapist. That means that you are a hypochondriac or an extreme germaphobe. And I understand that. Like, I get that. I understand that. But you got to know the difference between what's real and what's not real, and what trade-offs have to be made. So let me kind of break some of this down. And I already know when I talk about this issue, some people are going to get mad. So if you're one of the people that gets mad, just get really mad and leave. Like, get really mad and just go, because this is not a conversation for you. This is a conversation for open-minded people who want to try to understand what's really going on, not for people who are just brainwashed by media. I look at numbers. I look at statistics. I look at data. I do my own research. So here's what, let me start off with the things that made me skeptical. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, honestly. I get a lot of, when you black and you do stuff in the black space, you get conspiracy theories delivered into your inbox on a daily basis. I got people every day trying to tell me, the Federal Reserve is going to crash and steal all your money because it's just fiat currency. Yeah, I know that. Or that the Rothschilds are trying to take over the world, and they're planting drugs in black babies' brains. And, I hear all of that, right? And I'm not saying that that conspiracies are not real. Like, I'm black. I know history. I know that there have been conspiracies. So I do listen to everything. And then I process it and I say, does that make sense to me? And if it doesn't, I just walk away from it. But when it does make sense, I don't walk away. I have no fear in digging deeper. And so let me just tell you, this is the number one thing. I still hold to this point. I've made this point before. I'm going to make it again. This is the number one factor. I'm not a medical doctor, but I talk to doctors every day. My sister's a medical doctor, so shut the fuck up. I see your comment in the chat, and I just need you to shut the fuck up, because you ain't a medical doctor. I consult with dozens of doctors. I am a professor of finance, but I talk to medical doctors on a regular basis, statisticians, and I listen to scientists. You listen to politicians. That's your problem. When you're listening to politicians, then you're going to get it wrong. Let me just be 100% clear. If you're listening to politicians, or if you're listening to MSNBC or Fox or commentators, then you're not going to get the right answers. I get my information by going to websites for the Centers for Disease Control. I check out what the World Health Organization has to say. I check out, other data from other independent sources. Every time a doctor goes online and decides to be a whistleblower about what's happening in his hospital, I watch those videos carefully. I talk to doctors and I say, so what are doctors really saying about this? Like when they're talking to each other, what are they saying to each other? And so let me go back to my point on this. I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted there. I just want, because I feel really strongly about this shit. Like you can't take me off of this one because I think that they're on some BS right now. I think they're really playing with you right now. So here's the original point that I made. If this whole corona thing was really as deadly as they claimed it to be, then Donald Trump or Mike Pence would be gone. Seriously, both of them guys are old and grumpy and stressed out old white men. And the virus hits old people first. The virus hits old people first. The virus also hits celebrities. It's supposed to hit celebrities first. Look, I'm not a celebrity, but I shake a lot of hands. When I go places, I meet dozens and dozens and dozens of people on this. I go walk down the street in New York. If I walk down a couple city blocks in New York, I'll bump into 5 or 6 people that'll shake my hand. That's kind of that's that public figure space. So you really mean to tell me for real, that you got all these old motherfuckers in Congress, 108 years old. The virus hits old people. It hits old people the hardest. All these old Congress people who are shaking 1,000 hands, meeting all kinds of people from around the world, and not one of them has died. Not one. All they'd have to do to shut somebody like me up, honestly, is to announce, Mike Pence has just succumbed to the coronavirus. Like if they'd said that, I'd be like, damn, wow, okay, let me reassess. See, because when the facts change, your opinion should change. The reason some of y'all stay stuck on stupid is because your opinions don't change when the facts change. And I'm about to actually tell you the origin fact that I believe got you on this trajectory that you're on right now. And if you take away that one little origin fact, then everything else that you believe since then can't hold true. Okay. So again, when I was trying to understand how serious it was, because, for example, when Ebola got to the United States, I got real nervous because Ebola will fuck you up. Ebola will go all up in the insides and turn them into liquid. And it was highly contagious. And it scared the crap out of me, right? Or not highly, but it was contagious enough that I didn't even want to be in the same country as Ebola, right? So Ebola concerned me. This did not concern me because I pay attention. I observe. I know politicians are full of shit. So what I watched was I said, okay, all these celebrities are announcing that they have it. All these celebrities are like, I'm infected with corona. I'm infected with corona. And I was like, okay, well, if all these celebrities are getting infected and they're all shaking 1 million people's hands, then at least one of them has to die, right? Give me one A-list celebrity that has died from the virus. Give me one A-list. Don't tell me, I know that there was an NBA player's mother who died. Yeah, okay, it's out there, right? Viruses exist. You got herpes out there. A whole lot of people got herpes, but they don't announce herpes infections on TV every day, right? But you got a whole lot of viruses out there. But one NBA player's mother died, and that was sad. I know a guy. I have a friend of a friend whose baby daddy died. Now he was obese and he had some health conditions, but it was sad. It was still very, very sad. But I'm trying to say that if this thing was really something that could possibly kill you, then why has it not killed any of your damn celebrities? Seriously. Now, if someone says Doja Cat's career got ruined by coronavirus, right? It killed her career. Or is Doja? I don't know if Doja Cat's a woman or a man. Is that a woman or a man? Somebody tell me. I heard about Doja Cat. I don't know about it. So here's the thing that got you stuck on your current trajectory. If you are a person who is inclined to believe that you're going to die because you decided to go to the grocery store, here's what got you on that trajectory of fear. In the very beginning, when this thing first popped off, when this thing first started, they were making projections that 2 million people were going to die from this virus. Does anybody remember that? Give me a yes or no if you remember just a couple months ago where they told the country that we have to do a mandatory lockdown or whatever and social distancing for 2 or 3 months because 2 million people are going to die. Does anybody else remember that? Does anybody remember when even Trump himself was admitting that they're projecting 2 million Americans are going to die. That's a big number. It's still, it's still not even 1% of the population, but it's a big enough number to draw concern. 2 million people is a massive number. Now, what has occurred since then is that projection was about as far off as you could get. As far off as you can get. 2 million people did not die from this virus. Right now, as of today, as of May 16th, the number is 89,336. So you need to compare 89,000 to 2 million. That's like somebody promising you a check for $2,200, a stimulus check for $2,200, and instead they send you a check for $89.33. Are those the same? Yes or no? Are those numbers even close to each other? Yes or no? You expecting 2,200, they sent you 89 bucks. That's what you got. So what happened then is that, as you know, what's supposed to occur when you are a logical, intelligent person is your opinion is supposed to change as the information changes, as the facts change, you should change, right? But because the Democrats had dug so deep into this doom and gloom scenario, because I know what their whole agenda is. Their whole agenda is we want to fuck up the economy, destroy your lives, destroy your jobs, ruin your businesses, leave half y'all fucking bankrupt and broke so that we can then blame it on him. It's his fault. It's his fault because he didn't manage the crisis. No, right now, when I'm looking around this country and I'm seeing who's determined to keep their city shut down no matter what, like the mayor of Los Angeles, who's about as dumb of a motherfucker as I've ever seen. These are the Democrats that are doing this right now. This is the Democrats. I told you how I feel about voting in the next election. I'm not doing none of that because I can't vote for Trump and I'm not voting for the Democrats. So but I'm not telling you guys what to do. But I will tell you, when I'm looking around and I'm looking at who's keeping people from getting up and opening their damn barbershops or opening their businesses, it's these people who are doing whatever they can to hold on to any ounce of fear porn that they can possibly grab onto. They don't even announce the notice. They don't even announce the number of deaths anymore because they know that number is so small that it's tiny compared to the size of the population. They can't scare you with a death number anymore. So what they do is they give you the infection number. They'll say, 5,000 new people were infected this week. But what does that mean? What does that mean? There are a lot of people who think that, that a lot of people were infected by this virus. I think I might have been affected by it. What does that mean? One of the things I think that we have to do, if you want to at least be intelligent in terms of how you analyze this, I'm not telling you what to think. If you're scared and you really feel like this is really a threat to your life, then by God, stay in the house. Don't go out. Maybe you can stay in there forever. If you got money and you could just do that, then please do that. But here's my thing. At least look at the facts. At least look at the information and at least accept the fact that this infection is not a death sentence. This infection is not a death sentence. In fact, I did. Here's the deal. You have a 1 in 3,705 chance of dying from this virus. Some of y'all go out like you got a 50-50. Like if you go out to see your cousin, you might make it back. You might not. You might be dead next month. You might still be here. No, you're going to be here. Almost every single one of y'all are going to be here, except 1 out of every 3,705 of you. So if you went out and you had to bet for your rent money and roll the dice for your rent money, and they told you that you had a 1 in 3,700 chance of winning, would you expect to win? Would you expect that number to pick the right number if there's 3,705 numbers in that pot? No, you wouldn't, right? So, and then the other thing too is that once people get it, you have 1.5 million infections and 89,000 deaths. So that means that, again, I'm just being mathematical here, mathematically precise on this. That means there's even if you are unlucky enough to be infected, only 1 in every 220 people catches the infection. So if you are unlucky enough to be that 1 out of 220 people, then your odds of dying are, I'm guessing, about 5 to 6%. 5 to 6%. But that's assuming that you're over the age of 80. If you're over the age of 80, then your odds of dying are about 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, 9, 10%. If you're under the age of 60, your odds of dying, assuming that you are infected, are less than 1%. Are less than 1%. So what I just really kind of think, I want to ask you this question. I really kind of hope that you'll consider this. I know some of y'all, some people, we get our heads stuck on something and we just don't want to leave that spot. It becomes something bigger than just truth anymore. It becomes Democrat versus Republican. It becomes like me protecting and defending my fear no matter what. In fact, it reminds me of back when I had the debate about Lizzo and I was telling black folks, look, you're vulnerable. You're going to die if you don't take care of your immune systems. You can't go promoting obesity and cheering that on. And I had people that because they decided they love Lizzo, they love black people being obese. They love black people dying from heart disease and strokes and diabetes. They want that to keep happening because they're so stuck on defending the ignorance because it feels good. They wouldn't even hear anything I had to say. There was no room to hear an argument that says maybe as a people, we should consider doing things that will allow us to live instead of cheering on the things that lead us to die, right? Because that's not cool. It's not cool to be logical. It's not cool to be intelligent. But here's the deal. For those of you that want to hear this, I want to ask you this basic question. Let's go back to the original projection, the original expectation, the original prediction of 2 million deaths, right? When y'all heard that, most of you, how many of you were kind of taken aback by that number? Give me a yes or no. If 2 million deaths from corona kind of made you a little nervous, give me a yes or no. I'll be the first to say yes. It made me a little nervous. Yes or no? Did that number make you a little bit nervous? That kind of throw you off a little bit? That kind of make you say, whoa, we got to be careful? Like it made you okay, like giving up your job. It made you okay giving up your business. It made you okay with giving up your life. It made you okay with staying in the house, right? It made you okay with staying away from your neighbors. It made you okay with doing whatever you were told by the government because you wanted to be safe, right? How many of you, give me a yes or no, were a little bit taken aback by a prediction of 2 million? Okay, I see a lot of yeses, and that means you have common sense. And I love that because common sense is not common in this day and age. Everybody's into being stuck on whatever stupidity their political party tells them to believe in. Now, let me ask you this question as a follow-up. This is why this platform is only for intelligent black people. Stupid black people won't get this shit. What if instead of me predicting, or what if instead of the prediction being 2 million people dying, let's say the prediction was we're going to have 90,000 people die, maybe 100,000, right? So not 2 million. Let's say the prediction was 100,000 or 90,000. Would that have scared you as much as you were when you first heard that original number? Would you have given up your job for that? Right now, just to put it in reference, 61,000 people died last year from the flu. I don't know if you know this. Last year, 61,000 people died from the flu. So the number from the corona number is a slightly higher than your flu number. 89,000 versus 61,000. Every year, 61,000 people die from the flu. Nothing gets shut down because of that. People don't have to lose their jobs. You don't have 36 million people unemployed. You don't have entire economies wrecked, almost irreparably. Businesses declaring bankruptcy with thousands of jobs going down the drain. You don't have that, right? Well, why not just shut everything down? Because if you shut everything down and kept human beings away from each other forever, like maybe we should make sex illegal, because I'm sure some people have caught the flu or caught a cold from somebody having sex. I think I did. When I was in high school, me and my girlfriend couldn't keep us apart. One time she got sick. In fact, my woman upstairs, when she catches something, I catch the same thing. Whatever she got, I'm going to get, because that's just how we roll, right? So why don't we make sex illegal? Why don't we just force people to stay in their houses forever? Because if you do that, then the number of flu deaths would clearly drop. Right. So when people make a ridiculous argument to say that because you believe people should be allowed to go to work, you obviously want people to die. People that make an argument like that are just stupid. They're fucking stupid. The reason they're stupid is because there are 1,000 things that they do in their own lives every single day that increases their chance of death. Getting in a car increases your chance of death. Did you know that? You actually have a higher probability of dying in a car crash than you have of dying from coronavirus. About a 5 times greater probability of dying in a car crash in your lifetime than you have from dying from corona. So if corona is enough to justify. I'm talking to logical people here. I'm talking to intelligent people here. I'm not talking to dumbasses or people who just choose to be scared to death, or who get mad because you give them facts that are inconsistent with whatever bullshit they shoved in between their ears. Why would you drive? Because, I mean, my God, you have a 5 times greater chance of dying in a car crash than you have of dying from corona. So if you want to know, at the end of the day, I'm sharing this thought because I know I've talked about this before, but that one little subtle piece about the prediction, it hit me today. I was listening because I listened to all the news sources. I didn't get tired of Fox and MSNBC and CNN because they're so fucking biased and it's so stupid. Like, they're biased to the point of sounding retarded. Like, literally, I'll listen to CNN. I'll be like, you guys should be ashamed. Like, I'm ashamed of the fact that I was on CNN so many times, a few years ago. Like, I think up until maybe 2012, 2013, I used to go on there and debate with Don Lemon and all. I thought these people were serious journalists. They are not serious journalists. CNN has some weird agenda where they just dove deep in the mud, and they have only one truth that they're able to. Yes, NewsHour, because I think that they take the news seriously. They at least try to fact check. I like NPR. I like, of course, the black news. I love my black news, right? Everything from, Black Dot all the way across to listening to, people like Tariq and getting his point of view, or the Black Authority, or Jason Black, Vicky Dillard, stuff like that. But I also want to hear all the perspectives. Like, I like to hear all the points of view, because at the end of the day, I think it's important to form your own opinion. Like, these people, man, just lie to you so much. And it's sick. It's ridiculous. And a lot of these people that are trying to get you to stay home forever, these people have millions of dollars in the bank. Like, they're doing perfectly fine financially. They're getting a check from the government. If you tell me to stay home for good, I need you to be in the same boat as me. I need you to be in a situation where if I'm getting fucked, you getting fucked doubly hard. Then I'll believe you. But if I'm over here getting screwed and you up here living good, you in your mansion, like the Illinois governor did that. Illinois governor was forcing all the businesses to shut down because he's trying to toe the Democratic Party line. They're not thinking. They're not independent thinkers. They're all just sort of connected to whatever the group is telling them to do. So he shuts down all the businesses in Illinois. All these people starving to death, can't pay the bills, nothing. And this motherfucker flies his family to a mansion down in Florida so they can enjoy themselves during the quarantine. No. If you are expecting people to go without income, then you should be the first to go without income. And we're going to take that trust fund too. And we're going to go in there and we're going to, whatever you got in the bank, we want it. We're going to use that money. We're going to share it with all the people that you're telling to stay home. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice like everybody else, then I'm sorry, you only have so much of a right to have an opinion. And I think that should go for really any time you ask somebody to make an extraordinary sacrifice. You should be the first one in line to do it. Or at the very least, your opinion should be put on a different burner than the people who are actually on those front lines. We talk about frontline workers being like healthcare workers and all this other stuff. And that's true. That's really true. But healthcare workers are being laid off, by the way. I don't know if y'all know this, but a lot of hospitals are laying off their nurses and their frontline workers, their heroes. They're letting them go. But then the other thing too is, frontline workers are the people who had to shut their damn businesses down because you're telling them that they can't open up and make money. Frontline people are waitresses in restaurants who can't even go make any money because they're literally living like paycheck to paycheck, day to day. Those are the frontline workers. Those are the heroes. And those are the people that I think should be helping to make the decision about whether or not the trade-off is actually worth it. These politicians, screw these damn politicians. In fact, even with war, I've always felt that politicians who've never been to war, who would never go to war, who would never send their children to war, should not be allowed to declare war. They should never be allowed to declare war, because I'll be fucked. And I got a lot of veterans up in here. If you're a veteran, shout yourself out. I never disrespect veterans ever. And I'm gonna tell you this: if I'm a soldier, I'm not interested in taking orders or to go out and die for somebody who ain't willing to do the same damn thing, who doesn't understand anything about the sacrifice that you're asking me to make. I think that's absolutely ludicrous. It's ridiculous. And so I think in this particular situation, in this war against corona, this war against poverty, which is what it's becoming now, I think that the people on the front line should be making more of the decisions, not these politicians who are playing a damn game. They're playing a Donald Trump game. If Bill Clinton and Barack Obama came out and told them that everything was safe and they can move forward, they would all be moving forward. They're all playing the game because they want to destroy the economy. They want the economy wrecked. They want to destroy your business, kill your jobs, so they can then find some way to get you to blame Trump so that they can get an opportunity to be in the White House and have power for themselves. I don't like that game. I don't want to be in the middle of that game. Those are white folks' problems. I'm not participating, period. So today, me and my woman went out. We went to Chicago. We had a great time. I did not wear a mask. We are going, my family, we're going on a trip to Florida very, very soon. We're going to take some masks just in case we need one to get inside the restaurant. But no, I have no fear of what has basically, to this point, become a super flu. Listen carefully to the language they use also when they talk about the virus. When they talk about the virus, they almost never talk about what it's actually doing and the devastation it's actually caused. They don't talk about the death that is caused because they know that they have nothing to stand on. They know how bad their projections were. They know that they way overestimated things, and you gave them a lot of credit. They gave them a lot of advanced activity based on a very bad prediction, right? So now that they can't lean on that, they'll either talk about infection rates, like, oh, another 800 people were infected. Well, if it's a state of 10 million people, 800 ain't a big number, or another 1,000 people were infected, right? And also, again, infections are not a death sentence. The other thing that they do, if you pay close attention, is they're always talking about the what ifs. They're like, oh no, if we don't do this, it's going to be terrible. Or, oh no, the second wave is coming, y'all. It's going to be bad. Oh, just wait. It's going to be devastating. Oh, it's going to be. Stop telling me about gonna, coulda, might, will be. I want to know what it is. I want to know what it is. And the reality is they have nothing that they can hold on to other than this game of fear, which is similar to the game of hope. Obama did that. When Obama got elected, all he talked about was hope for a better world, hope for this, hope for that, hope for this. And that's how they get you to vote, is they say, well, we'll just give you some hope and you give us a vote, and then we'll get in office and we'll kill all your dreams and all your hopes. But for now, we'll just kind of sell you a dream and let you kind of think that it might happen and maybe it won't. Well, the same thing can happen with fear. They tell you all the time about how bad the second wave might be, and it could be this bad, and it's going to be this bad, it's going to be terrible. And at the end of the day, it's like I keep waiting for that other shoe to drop. I'm going to make a prediction. That other shoe ain't dropping. That shoe is not dropping. The number of deaths that come from this virus, which is never going to go away. The virus is always going to be around. It's going to be around for the next 100 years. So just get used to it. So that's why you got to take care of yourself. Don't be out here celebrating the Lizzos of the world and celebrating obesity and then complaining about Black people dying from the virus. That's why I brought up the Lizzo thing 2 or 3 months ago. I keep bringing it up because I'm still pissed at the people that wanted to defend that bullshit. Like, you can't, seriously, Black people, you don't understand how stupid you look when you're defending unhealthy behavior, but then you somehow want to whine and cry because your unhealthy behavior has consequences. Part of growing up means understanding the connection between your choices and your outcomes. You make bad choices, you're going to have bad outcomes. You're not children, you're not little kids, right? So, so basically, I just personally think we as a people, maybe this is our cue to eat better. It's our cue to, exercise a little more, to do things to heighten our immune system. Stop making fun of those people who talk to us about the soul food that we're eating and how unhealthy it is, or the Popeyes chicken that we're taking in and all this other stuff that we're eating. Maybe we should listen to those people. Maybe that's an opportunity for us to do better. So anyway, I'm going to go, guys. Please record and post this. It's going to be on drboycetv.com. So if you want to share it, please share it from drboycetv.com. And I appreciate you guys listening to me on this. I want to just say something to those of you who had a hard time hearing what I had to say. First of all, on this platform, I hope that we can always agree or disagree and be okay with each other, because I love you, even if you disagree. I just think that we have to hear all ideas. I'm a big believer that alternative viewpoints are extremely important, and you cannot get to the point where you're suppressing people that disagree with you. But then the second piece is I'm hopeful that those of you who do agree will consider sharing this video with other people out there, so that they'll just know that other people are seeing what they're seeing. Because it's very strange to me. I feel like there really are other agendas at work here. And one agenda I know is at work is the whole, like, let's ruin the economy and then blame it on Trump agenda. That's a reflection of how bad your politicians are. your politicians care about this country so little that rather than working with people on the other side of the aisle to make the country better, they want to destroy the country. And they don't care if it gets destroyed as long as you get to blame somebody else. So when we're sitting on another $5 trillion in debt, we already had too much debt to begin with. We were already teetering on, just really the brink of financial disaster. Now we're really headed to financial disaster. You can't go borrow in a $3 trillion a year economy. You can't just go borrow another $5-6 trillion like it ain't nothing. Like that don't make no damn sense. That's like, imagine if you make $100,000 a year, you've already got $1 million in debt. And then somebody says, hey, let's go borrow, let's go borrow another $250,000. Like that's not going to work out for you. That's not going to work. So in this economy, in this country, we are screwed. Long term, we are screwed financially. And so what these individuals are doing, these dirty, greedy, selfish, shitty ass politicians are basically destroying the economy. And they don't care about the destruction because all they care about is two things. One, re-election, getting you to vote for them. And then two, making sure that when the economy is destroyed, when America's bloody and burning and the whole economic system has collapsed, that as long as you're blaming the Republicans, then it was all worth it. It was all worth it. Well, it ain't worth it to me. I want to see people working together. That's just my opinion. Do I like Trump? No, I don't like him so much as a person. I probably don't hate him as much as people do. Because I don't like hardly any of the politicians. But at the end of the day, whoever the president is, whether it was Obama in the White House, I kind of, that same energy came from the Republicans. Oh, we want to make sure he's only a one-term president. We want to make sure that he doesn't last. That's our number one goal. And I was like, your number one goal is to make sure that he's only a one-term president? That's kind of crazy because I thought your goal was to help the American people. I thought your goal was to make the country strong. So to me, you have a bunch of people that, for whatever reason, don't have an ounce of patriotism in their body. They want to destroy this country, and believe me, they're gonna get their wish. It's gonna happen. What you're doing here is gonna have consequences that will last at least a decade, probably longer. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So I'm getting up tomorrow. I'm living my life. I'm not gonna sit around scared to catch a cold. I'm sorry. I'm just not. The odds of dying from corona are 1 in 3,705. There have been 89,000 corona deaths this year. Last flu season, we had 61,000 deaths from the flu. Also, there's a push to get them to properly classify corona deaths. They were so desperate to make their prediction accurate that they were lying. They were actually recording deaths as corona deaths that were not corona deaths. So now they're going to go back and end up having to revise downward this already low number. 89,000 is a long way from 2.2 million. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's what I'm saying, and I'm sticking with it. So do I think it'll cause a recession? It already has. We've never had an economic downturn like this. We have never, ever. Do you hear me when I say ever, ever, never, never, no, never, ever had this many people lose their jobs at one time? Great Depression ain't got shit on what's going on right now. I mean, you're talking about a complete economic standstill. Like that's kind of unprecedented. So, and it's not going to be pretty moving forward because everybody's going to play political games. Like the mayor of LA talking about he's trying to shut down the economy for another 3 months. They're going to walk up in that damn court. They're going to walk up in that mayor's office and whoop his ass. Like, seriously, I'm damn near like those crazy rednecks that want to walk up with a rifle strapped to his back. Like how am I supposed to feed my family? Like what is this? Like, really? Again, here's another funny thing. Homeless people are as vulnerable as anybody, right? Like homeless people can't even quarantine because they live in the street, right? Well, and they don't wear masks and none of that. They're not able to social distance because a lot of them live in these little cramped spaces. Well, why aren't there just dead homeless people everywhere? Like I would expect them to, like thousands of them to be just dead, like everywhere, like you're stepping over dead bodies. It's not. There's nothing that you can point to that's really showing it's real. Even if you talk about places, hot spots like New York, even the evidence shows that the mayor of New York, the governor of New York, the mayor and the governor significantly overestimated the number of ventilators they would need, the number of hospital beds. I'm talking about like a factor of 4 or 5, like really, so I just think that this is election year bullshit. If this was not an election year, the way they're handling this would be very, very different. They would be handled completely different if if it wasn't 2020. If it was 2019, I think that they would be like, okay, look, let's get this thing under control so we can get the economy popping again. I think that this is all about trying to win an election, and it pisses me off. Stupidity makes me mad, just in case you're wondering. Like, ignorance annoys me. I want to say thank you very much, brother, for your donation. I see you in a Tillis Johnson. Thank you very much, Tillis, for your support, man. And also, anybody who wants to support the platform, we'd love to have you as a patron at intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. And we'll give you lots of free stuff in exchange for your support. And also, we're going to have Black Movie Night. You guys know I have a big issue with the way Black people are portrayed in Hollywood. And so rather than just talking about it, we're doing something about it. We're building a Black Hollywood. We would love for you to be a part of this. I'm asking you. I'm begging and pushing you. I'm doing a joint. It's like I'm asking you, but I'm also really pressuring you to be a part of this on any level, whether it means just sharing a link on your social media or whatever the case may be. Because if you have fans, if you have supporters in an industry, then you can build an industry. So I want to build a Black Hollywood. I want to be a part of that. And we have a film division, Boyce Watkins Films, but it's not just us. We have our own movies that we show, but also there are thousands and thousands of great Black filmmakers and directors and producers and writers out there who are far more talented than the couple of Negroes they pick to be on Netflix or on TV. And I want to see those individuals get opportunities. So Black Movie Night is where we gather thousands and thousands of Black people together, on a Zoom, and we watch a Black movie together. Not no bullshit that you see on TV, not some, made for TV nonsense or Black exploitation film, but an independent Black film that you're not going to see in mainstream, right? So one of the great ones that everybody's really excited about is Corona Man. The trailer for Corona Man had people shook. Like, it was literally better than like Us, like in the Jordan Peele kind of sense. Jordan Peele's movie Us. Like, Corona Man had that same feel. So I'm really looking forward to Corona Man. We're actually setting the date for that. I think that date is in June, but also on the 21st, which is 5 days from now, from the time of this recording, we're going to watch Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint, which is directed by award-winning director Dorian Chandler out of the Bronx. And she's going to come in and talk to us about the film after it's over. It's all about the Black Wall Street massacre. So, and also it's just really, really fun. So bring your family, bring your popcorn, bring your baby mama, whatever you want to do. And we're going to just really have some fun. So if you'd like to join us, it's totally free, totally free, totally free. Register at blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. Somebody please type that in, blackmovienight.net, not .com, .net, and you can register. And also, some of you asked about this shirt. If you want to go get a shirt like this, we have cool shirts like this. You can go to wokeblacktees.com, WOKE. That's wokeblacktees.com. So anyway, those are the little things we have going on, and we got more stuff going on. I'll tell you more about that later. But now I'm gonna go take me a nap. But I got home from our trip, and I was like, man, I got to talk about this thing because this is really getting to me a little bit. And so thank you for listening. Have a good day. Love you guys, and I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Be good. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV.